Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to the Canyon. Welcome back to an installment of, and I almost said, I was fully prepared. I was ready to say welcome back to an installment of. Before it occurred to me that I did one episode of this gentleman here, and was kind of enamored of it, and I've wheeled it around a little bit. And you might have seen from a community post that someone suggested, and I've already forgotten again. It was on Instagram. They suggested the Mini E-Revo body. There's a little ombre fade there. Put a body on it. Put a Hobbywing 30 turn in it. Got batteries to fit. Surround the Resource 4. Removed the low-C servos. These are just Traxxas GTS 90s that in every little bit of testing that I've done with it has improved. Like, this is the amount of suspension flex that you get on 90. It had too much. On 100 millimeter, you could set it on its side wheel, and this one would almost be touching the ground. So, since you saw him last, I cleaned up the steering. I mounted him on the carbon fiber wheels with massive weights in the front and no weights in the back. It's got the width right about where I want it. It sits where I want it. The 30 turn, I still think the 30 turn is a little spicy. I will probably go to a 35 turn. I have a couple. And something has to be done about the dig servo. That servo is an old boy, and he's not super happy about life. So I'm going to use the stock locations. I'm going to build up a bracket. It's going to be, I've all but concluded, it's going to be this little Endura guy. I'm going to build up a bracket that lines it up so that the pull is pretty straight. Use an offset horn on him. I'll do a little trickery there, even if it requires relocating the receiver to someplace more sensible rather than being up there. I drove with it up there while I would roll it repeatedly and bang the receiver into the rocks. I did not have to do the mod here with the... I know I'm using it fits tightly enough. I'm using a metric driver on what are definitely standard set screws. But it works. We are going to enlist the help of Susan here so that we can I have finally gotten something that I think will assist here. I have not set up cruise control. Cruise control would have been very, very helpful for this. So what I have done is you go on Amazon, you get yourself single-use syringes. You know what? I'm going to use a smaller one. Same size needle. You can get a bunch of blunt-tipped. Yeah, see, they're not needles. They're for stuff like this. Oil, grease, glue. Get yourself a little syringe. We'll go into the oil port here. Oh, yeah. Let me put it this way. Trying to get oil in that, grease into that before was not fun. And what I have learned from operating this thing in the small amount of time that I have operated it is that you almost have to oil these worm drives every time you run it. Because last time it went out, I did a test where I put my favorite, which is what is in the syringe, the CRC caliper grease. CV joint grease, not caliper grease. Caliper grease is pretty good. The CV joint grease is better. I put that in one end, and I put regular Teflon grease in the other end. That was this end, and it's taking way more. There we go. We got a little poke out. It's taking way more grease in that end. You will actually, generally, be able to hear the volume level go down. There we go. These things, the ends of these take quite a bit of grease. I strongly recommend, well, here's what I'll do. I will do my best to try to help you guys out, and I will search Amazon to where, like, I think everybody needs like two of these, or maybe one of these, right? You can start quite. But the problem is when you buy them on Amazon, you get this whole. I have no use for this. $10 gets you all the needles, all the syringes. I filled like I filled like half a dozen of them out of a thing of grease, and it sounds much better. Now, when I got this guy, the gear cover that actually goes over the gears, that guy was long gone. So, I don't mind. Let's just, oh no, it definitely needs the needle. Don't feed it into the gear. Stop trying to feed it into the gear. No, we need it right there. There it is. There you go. Just a little bit. For how loud those worm drives are, that does not sound bad at all. So, this guy, I've just been calling him Compy because Compagnathus. Who doesn't love a Compagnathus? And, you know, by crawler standards, I have made this. I've made this statement before. I'll make it again right now. People will say, "Oh, I don't want to buy insert X vehicle because it's outdated." And I'm like, most of these things are live axles on 4-link, and sometimes on 4-link suspension, sometimes on leaf sprung suspension. I'm like, this technology dates back forever. Worm drive transmissions were around 100 years ago. Leaf springs go back 200 years. The point where I acknowledge those limitations are where you get into situations where, like, this vehicle is among them. It was designed for a 540 and you're not fitting anything bigger. There's really no point in putting something with drag brake. All the drag brake is turned off. There's no point in putting something that's immensely, like a ton of drag brake in it, because it's not going to use any of it. This thing was built in the era of brush motors, and it is perfect for a brush motor. So as he is Compy, he is even in the radio as wait, get the dust on there, as Compy. We're gonna take him out, and we're gonna. It's a lazy Sunday, everybody. We're gonna do what we do. He's gonna go play 9-ball. I don't feel like going through them in any particular order. I just want to, like, of the rigs here, it's also 52 degrees. It's 48 inside the building, 52 outside. Predator compound Proline Ibex. The conditions could not be better for this guy to take on the 9-ball course and see how he does. I'm going to kind of go loosely in the order of 9-ball. I still haven't numbered the balls. We'll get to that. And speaking of other related things, the Leviathan course, the orange course, will be placed hopefully in the upcoming week. And I've started the layout for where course 3 is, and I have a mental picture of where course 4 is going to go. We're going to get some courses. We're going to talk more about horses and courses when we get out there. So let's take this guy. Let's see. Can he conquer old Susan? I have a minimal wheel time of, I'm watching the, there we go. I have minimal wheel time of this guy with the 30 turn in there, so I don't know how capable the 30 turn is going to be. Dig works, that's all that matters. Let's go 9-ball and see how many roll away, you know? First of all, listen how quiet this boy is. I have noticed, what motor was in here before? What did I have? I feel like there's a little bit less torque in this Injora 30 than what I had before. The dig is not overwhelmingly predictable. I'm kind of in a hole here that I'm trying to dig out of. There we go. It's almost there. I think I could go with something higher turn, but I think it needs more torque. I'm having some little fallback moments where I think the 30, I'm having to give it more throttle than I want to give it. And there's definitely not just inconsistency to the dig, but I basically can't tell when it's going to engage and when it isn't. Yeah, right there, I tried to dig around and it was not having it. This guy might be more particular about his motor choice than I thought would be the case. The 30 just doesn't seem peppy enough. Like right there, I run out of torque. Like I'm moving in fits and starts. If I could get smooth over the top of that, and I'm gonna have to go back and watch my own video. I have no recollection of what motor was in here before. I definitely liked it more though. I can't get into the position that I want it to. The motor change was a mistake. Yeah. Oh, it is not good. It is not good to the point that I am, well, okay. I'll tell you if I am or not. Yep. We gotta change that motor. All right, I am calling a full mulligan on this one. I did not like the feel of that other motor at all. And you know what I do like? I like the feeling of this one a lot better. And what we have done is, don't you do it. Jam it. We have replaced an economy motor with another economy motor. I honestly think this thing calls for a big block. 540, 5 slot, like the big Surpass, NHX, one of those. This is a team brewed 16 turn 5 slot. It is not the torquiest thing, but let me tell you this. It feels, can you get off the top? You can. Okay, a dig right here. Just because he's compy doesn't mean he's ready. I foolishly thought to myself that I was too tired / lazy to get all of the balls out. So I just got 2 gates worth. And as it turns out, as one would expect, now I have to walk a lot more. I want to stay up this way more. Yeah, I'm stalling it out. Yeah. Of everything I have, I don't think anything is more motor critical than this. Let me see what we can do to get into position here. No, I am completely stalling this motor out. It feels better than the other one, but it has even less torque. There's that 5 slot coming back to bite us. Yeah, I thought I thought we're taking a risk no matter what motor we solder in here. Oh yeah. It is much smoother, but oh, the utter lack of torque. I'm remembering, it's all flooding back to me. I was a guy that for a long time said, I don't like 5-slot motors, and there's a reason. They exchange torque for smoothness, and in most cases I would rather have the torque. Hey, that's one. And the dig worked. All right. Is this negging? Am I negging him in? Am I negging the rig and the motor into doing well? When the dig engages, it feels pretty great. And when I can get into a spot of the power band that the motor can deliver, it feels pretty great. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. No, you know what? Yeah, I'm holding dig down right now. Yeah. That old high-tech servo might be, oh, it is definitely zombified. It's unofficial on top of unofficial, but I had this before. If I keep the throttle in the same spot in the band. Now I turned down earlier. Yeah, see? I knew I had it. Doesn't count, but I had it. So it's 2 and should have been 3. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. Well, that was the body falling off of the rear tire there. Yeah, the fits and starts. You see it happening here. I don't think we have enough. We don't have enough torque to improve this angle. It's just getting worse. I don't see any other option except a big block 540. It just needs so much more torque. Now, handling wise, we're doing okay. Pushed right back. No, it's coming off. There we go. Hey, we got it out of the way, so we don't have to deal with it anymore. So we're still at 2 for another second. Yeah, it is not smooth. The trigger feel is very smooth. That's 3, but there's no torque. That poor little 16-turn 5-slot doesn't have the gas to move these worm gears. Suspension feels really good. Dig is awful. Like, it's not doing anything suspension-wise that feels suspicious. Power plant-wise, though, it just feels terrible. Like right there, when you get, there's a certain point in the power band where it kind of feels okay. As soon as you get under any kind of load, you can't. Now, is that rear end going to drop? No, you know why? So that is, that's 4. We will see if he can make it to 5. And man, if I could just deliver the power the way I want to deliver it. Sliding too much. See it? It's like I'm in half dig all the time. Nope. Back it out, try it again. There is a lot of resistance to overcome with these worm drives. It's just going to slide that rear end down again. So, we see what we can do. It's like an engine with a misfire. You can hear it. That motor's going to be hot, isn't it? I'm having to use way more throttle than I would like to. There are just glimmers of hope. It feels... I get to feel... I get to feel the 5 slot for just a flicker of a moment. And then in a flicker, that moment is gone. This is constant fighting. Yeah, dig is non-useful. So, what we've gotten is in a game of 9-ball, we've got a 5, and honestly, it should have been a 6. But, whatever, right? Whether it was the guy behind this wheel or the guy in charge of turning those wheels, we've got some issues. Dig is basically non-functional. That servo, I think I had mentioned in one of the previous installments, has been through a fire. It is not super healthy. It's got some... It's old analog from back in the day. I will make a conversion plate to allow me to mount a micro. I will dig around. Might be able to get an NHC. Easy. This, okay. All right. Follow me. I think this is the guy that, in whether it be 9-ball or whether it be running a full 9. Yeah, there's. Is it even? I can get a little. There's no dig at all. I think this is the guy most likely and most capable to put up a 9. So we are going to make it our collective mission to see this happen. Stay. This one is unforgiving. I just keep thinking about watching another video, and someone was talking about how you want to make a course. Basically what it boiled down to was not too difficult. And I was like, what? If you want not too difficult, just go drive around on rocks. You can go anywhere around here. You can go over here. Some spots difficult, some spots not so difficult. You can go over here. Some spots difficult, some spots not so difficult. But as far as I'm concerned, the whole point of this, and I'm pointing, the whole point of this, of driving in between those two little yellow fellas, is that it's difficult. Because if you can breeze it, what are we even doing? What is the point? Yeah, no dig at all. The difficulty, I thought the difficulty was the allure. Because I can pick any number of spots here and just drive those spots. Just have a grand old time. But what I thought we were trying to do here is something. The 9 is difficult by design. While we're on that topic, I can't get that one. Competitive rock crawling, toy car rock crawling as a pursuit is a thing that I think I just ran out of battery. Is a thing that I both get and don't get. I get the time limit. You have constraints. You have things and that's logistics. I don't like the fact that logistics have to get involved. I both understand and don't. Just because I understand it doesn't mean I have to like it. Both the time limitation and like points for reverse. Sometimes you got to reverse. It's just how it is. I would say honestly, here's some canyon stuff for you, and I think it just came out of my brain and went into the rules. Are we dead? Yeah, we're dead. Here's how it goes. New canyon rules, you heard it here first. Here's how we're going to do it. So should someone want to come out and run the 9 specifically, or any of the other courses that we're going to put up, I think we're going to do it 2 ways. Just like how you can do the 9 a number of ways. You can play 9-ball. You can do the full course. We've got variety. Here's what you can do. You can do it in the 5-minute time limit that is typically imposed upon people running these. And if you do it with the 5-minute time limit, as far as the canyon is concerned, you can reverse as much as you want. Yep. Reverses are free if you run it with a time limit. If you run it with no time limit, reverses have points. Doesn't that sound like fun? We've got gates that you can knock the heads off of. And we've got time limits and no time limits. We've got, because here's the thing. If they do nothing else, games like Dark Souls and Elden Ring prove that people like things, or Lethal Company, which I've been watching recently, people seem to enjoy things that are almost supernaturally difficult. So I have no problems at all with the level of difficulty that you'll encounter at the 9. It's supposed to be hard. That doesn't mean it's not fun. If something is too easy, it can still be fun, but is there that reward? Is there that reward that comes to it? Because a lot of time, it's the hard lines, right? They don't all have to be hard lines, but if you're going to put a gate on it, I don't know. Anyway, before it gets too philosophical, I thank you for joining me. I invite you to comment below. Are we kind of in a cumulative agreement that we should just go big block, 5-slot, like a 13 or a 16 turn, surpass NHX? The gold one, the blue one, the whichever one is cheap. I think I've seen the NHX on Amazon recently in that like $30 range, 30, 35 bucks. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all. Setup wise, he seemed really good. Doesn't want to kick the front end up too much. Dig is, I think, what needs to be addressed. Dig is definitely in second place, right behind the lack of torque, which was really a problem for this guy. So this guy is not in fighting shape, let's say. We are very early into this and effectively untuned to the point where the electronics don't really do what I want the electronics to do. Direct power servo would probably actually be a great choice for this, seeing as we're just running an old, basically a vintage 1080 3 amp. That Reefs is probably giving it punching it around a little bit. That's an 850 battery in there, and what? You see that, right? He's having a moment. He's having a real moment. Something in there is not okay, and he's still put up a 6. The best you can do is 9. So he put up a 6 out of 9. Could have been that 7, but I just breezed that one over there. Anywho, we will work through this together. I think motor and dig is going to cure a lot of it. I think that front weight in the front wheels really helped. I think that taking the weight out of the rear wheels helped a lot. I think everything is moving in the right direction, and hopefully we'll get there together. I thank you so much for watching. I invite you to like, subscribe. As I said, comment below. Consider channel membership or picking up a t-shirt from Cafe Press. I'm starting to figure out the horrible Cafe Press website navigation. We'll get there together as well. I invite you to tune in for whatever comes next. I thank you so much for being here today. In between now and when we meet again, I do invite you one and all to do your very best to have a good one, everybody. I cannot drive out of frame. I can't even. We's dead, baby. So here from the dead zone, a 6 of 9. Wouldn't have been better if it was 7 and 9, just for the nerdery. From a 6 of 9 here at the 9. Compy and I thank you so much for dropping by the canyon. We will see you next time.